Hello, everyone. I am Dr. Shepherd with Align Family Wellness, and I am so glad you are here to join us on our Preconception Journey webinar. So we are going to go through a lot today. So I'm going to just jump in and get started and just follow along. Okay, so let's get going. Okay, so 1 in 6 women will struggle with infertility issues, according to the World Health Organization, as of 2023. So some factors will impact your fertility. Chemicals, we all know that. We are exposed to a ton of chemicals every day. Emotional and physical stress, we are going to go through all of this today. We want you to understand your body. So we're going to go through kind of how we get pregnant, how our body works, because what I've learned is people don't know how their body works. They don't understand how their body works. And so we want to go through that today. I want you to understand how your body works, how you can nurture it, how we can make your body healthy, and how we can make our body ready to get pregnant. And that's so important to make you healthy so that you can become pregnant naturally. Okay, so let's talk about preconception health. So fertility is a shared journey, and I want you guys to understand that so much, because a lot of times we put so much pressure on us as women, and it is a shared journey. So fertility is about both healthy eggs and healthy sperm. So we're going to talk a lot about women, but we are going to talk a little bit about male fertility too. But we're going to talk about the fundamental aspect of fertility is the menstrual cycle. So we're going to focus a lot on that today. We're going to talk about tracking your cycle, because that is so empowering for women. And if you're not already doing that, I want to encourage you to track your cycle. There's an app, there's a ton of apps out there. There's Clue, there's the Fertility Awareness Method app. There's a ton of free ones. Don't spend a bunch of money. There's a bunch of gadgets and stuff you can get out there. You can get an Oura ring, you can get temp drop that you can wear. So there's a lot of gadgets and stuff you can get. But if you want to become familiar with your menstrual cycle, identify your ovulation days, and understand your fertility signs, I suggest you start tracking your cycle. We have to know what is going on. And tracking your cycle with an app is the easiest. Checking your temperature and kind of your basal metabolic temperature is really good if we want to kind of get into some of those things. We do a little bit more of that when you're in my office, but for now, just start tracking your cycle. Let's know, when your periods are, how long they are. So let's talk about the 4 main phases of your cycle. And I'm going to kind of move myself a little bit here so you can kind of see what the actual little eggs and follicles look like. So stages of the menstrual cycle, we're going to start here on day 1. So that's your menstrual phase. So day 1 is the day you start your period. That is actually day 1. You are menstruating. So your uterus sheds the lining. That's your menstrual bleeding. So we are bleeding day 1 to day 5. So we know some of you are going to have, different cycles. You're going to bleed for 7 days. You're going to bleed for 10 days, whatever. So day 1 starts your menstrual phase. Day 1 also starts your follicular phase. That pituitary gland releases a hormone to start stimulating the production of the follicles in the ovaries. So those follicles are developing. By around day 14, those follicles have kind of developed, and so then we ovulate. So what does ovulation mean? That egg is released. That egg is released. And so that's kind of our fertile window. So we only have 6 days in our cycle that we can get pregnant. That is it, ladies, 6 days. So once that egg is released, we have 6 days that it can basically kind of move down and get pregnant. If we don't, in that luteal phase from day around 15 to 28, that's when that uterus kind of thickens. It kind of creates this beautiful little thick bed for a potential pregnancy. So if the egg is not fertilized, that lining breaks down and it triggers your next period. So we release the egg, and then if that egg doesn't fertilize, then we have our next period. So understand that we don't have a lot of time to actually get pregnant. Those 6 days, by the time that egg kind of travels down, if it doesn't actually get fertilized, then we don't get pregnant. Really, once you ovulate, that egg lives about 24 hours. So we want you to kind of have sperm there ready by the time you ovulate, because we always say that egg, she lives about 24 hours. Sperm lives 5 days. So there's about a 6-day span anywhere between when you can ovulate where you can actually get pregnant. So she lives about 24 hours. She's finicky. She is here and then she's gone. So if she's not fertilized, she's out, and then we have another period. Then we're back to day 1. We're in the menstrual phase. So understand that you cannot get pregnant any day of your cycle. There is a window of time where we can get pregnant. And then if that egg is not fertilized, we have to start the process all over again. Does that make sense? Okay. Moving on. Maybe. Okay. Just kidding. Let's go back. Gosh darn it. Here we go. Okay. So I don't know why this is not letting me move forward. Okay. So let's talk about preconception health. So one thing we want to look at is we want you to be as healthy as possible before you get pregnant. And I tell a lot of my moms this before they get pregnant. I want you to be healthy. We're not going to focus on you getting pregnant right away. We want to get you healthy. So we need to look at your overall health. A lot of times we do recommend a full blood work and a hormone panel done before we start that conception phase. We want to get a good baseline. How healthy are we? Are there some things missing that we need to kind of supplement before we actually start the conception phase? So one thing we want to talk about is birth control. So when we are on birth control, especially hormonal birth control, we have to allow our body 6 months to a year before we are trying to conceive, with a minimum of 3 months to allow your body to adjust. And we're going to go through why. But please give your body time to heal. Please, please, please. 6 months to a year is ideal. And I know some of you mamas, we're waiting later to get married, we're living our best lives. And so, some of you have been on birth control for a really, really, really long time. You got to give your body a long time. You got to give your body closer to that year to give your body time to heal. And so let's go through some reasons why. So some of the reasons that we need our body to heal is because hormonal birth control can affect your body's ability to uptake and utilize vitamins and minerals. Coming off of birth control, your body is super depleted of vitamins A, C, E, K, and a lot of B vitamins. Why are these vitamins important? Because they are important for fertility. So if you are depleted in these vitamins and minerals, you are not going to be able to get pregnant. So we have to heal our body and replenish these vitamins and minerals before we get pregnant. The pill also works by preventing ovulation. That's the whole point of the pill. So it thickens your cervical mucus to hinder sperm's entry, and it alters the lining of your uterus. This changes your body's chemistry. It releases high levels of estrogen and progesterone. It is altering artificial hormones. Long term, your body has a hard time knowing which of these hormones it needs to really produce. It needs time to regulate and determine which amounts of estrogen and progesterone your body really needs to produce. So it needs time to kind of get the artificial hormones out of the body and regulate and produce its own hormones. We also understand that the pill really, really influences our mood. It affects our neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine, and it is not uncommon to have a lot of mood swings, irritability, and anxiety and depression while on hormonal birth control and while coming off of hormonal birth control. So we need to give our bodies like a hot minute to kind of get on and off, the roller coaster of emotions. The book Beyond the Pill is absolutely amazing. It has a whole step-by-step process of weaning yourself off of the pill and ways to do it, but it also tells you to give yourself about a year, but gives you some good things to do to boost your vitamins and minerals, and a good just diet to follow and things. So if you want some more information, Beyond the Pill is an awesome book. So now let's talk about stress and fertility. I truly, truly, truly believe that stress is one of the most common things that is affecting women and fertility right now. Unexplained fertility. We have a lot of women that come into our office that are like, all my tests are coming back normal. Everything is fine. I don't know what's going on. We do a test on them that we'll talk about later called HRV, and we find that they are just stressed like crazy. So both physiological and psychological stress can profoundly influence fertility by affecting ovulation. So the hypothalamus is in the brain, and basically it plays a key role by influencing our pituitary gland. So our pituitary gland releases two reproductive hormones, and you guys have probably heard of these two hormones. They are follicle stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone, so FSH and LH. So FSH is follicle stimulating hormone. It stimulates the ovaries to produce follicles. Not rocket science. Luteinizing hormone triggers the release of the egg from the follicle. So one hormone stimulates the ovaries to produce the follicles. The other hormone stimulates the release of the egg. So we need these hormones to be produced so that the pituitary gland is functioning well. Stress can delay or cause irregular secretion of FSH and LH. So if you are stressed, you are not going to be able to produce follicles or release the egg from the follicle properly. Or we can also have delayed longer than average menstrual cycle because ovulation is occurring later, because we're ovulating later. So, if you're tracking your ovulation and you're like, man, my cycles are super long. I'm ovulating really later. That's why we track our cycles, so we know. So it can be challenging to predict, fertility, because we're like, hey, you're looking at that day 14 as ovulation. Well, maybe you're ovulating at day 19. So it's very tricky. And that's why we are tracking. There's some things that we can look at that we tell you, like we said, basal temperature that we have you track in our office. We also show you some things to track for cervical mucus. Some cases you have a long cycle, but there's no egg released. So we're actually not truly ovulating. So stress can really, really, really impact your cycle. So we need to work on managing and reducing our stress. I know that's easier said than done. I know there's lots, and this is what I tell my patients. Stress is going to be there. It's how resilient and adaptive we are to stress. So it's there. It's just how are we reacting to the stress? How is our body handling the stress? Relaxation techniques are important. Exercise, eating well, getting good sleep. Oh my gosh, sleep is so, so important. And chiropractic care is huge on stress. And we'll kind of go over a lot of this. So sleep and fertility. So men, their sperm maturation is tied to body circadian rhythm. So if a woman isn't getting enough sleep, it affects the release of that luteinizing hormone that triggers the ovulation. So also you won't be able to produce DHEA, which is essential for egg quality and the number of eggs. So less sleep equals less melatonin production, which is an essential antioxidant. So if you're not getting enough sleep, you're not ovulating, you're not producing enough eggs, you're not producing good eggs, you're not producing melatonin, and you're altering your genetic markers. What else can I say? Get good sleep, get to bed earlier, get into bed, get off the screens, get into bed. It's getting, I don't know when you're watching this, but it's finally getting lighter later. We just had time change. Get sunlight on your eyes in the morning, get to bed. The more hours you get before midnight is so important to your body. Get into bed earlier. I would love you to be in bed, before 10 p.m., please, especially if you're trying to conceive. So how can chiropractic care help? How can chiropractic help with fertility? This is probably a foreign subject to you. We are more than just back pain. We actually don't do a ton of back pain in our office. Our focus is on stress management and nervous system help and adaptability through nervous system specific adjustments. At Align Family Wellness, we focus on the overall function of the nervous system. That is what we care about. The spinal cord is a major component of the nervous system, and it communicates from the brain and the body. And we care about how your nervous system is functioning. And we track it and we can measure it. We know how your nervous system is functioning by using our insight scans. So we do 3 scans on you. These scans have no emissions. They are safe. We do them on newborns. We do them when you're trying to conceive. We can do them when you are pregnant. We do them literally on day-old newborns. So the first one is the heart rate variability. That tells us how adaptive you are and how you can recover from stressors. We know you are stressed, there is stress around us, but how your body can recover from stress. It's kind of like a stoplight. It tells us, is it green? Are you good? Is it yellow? Are we in the warning zone? Is it red? Are you in the danger zone? The next one is a surface EMG scan, and that's this one down here is a surface EMG scanner. The HRV is this one right here. You kind of put your hand on these little gold sensors here. Surface EMG tells us the energy output of all the muscles around your spine, and it communicates that information back up to the brain. So it's telling me how much energy your muscles are using just to exist in space. If we are using way too much muscles, if we have a ton of stress, we are holding a ton of tension in our spine. That is using too much energy that we could be using for other things, like sleeping, like growing a human being, like putting energy into ovulation. So we want to make sure that we are not overusing our energy into our muscles. We need to be using energy into other things. Thermography is this one right here. It kind of looks like when you actually look at it like a little car, like a little roller that rolls down your spine. It shows inflammation that could be affecting communication between the brain and the body. So it kind of measures, it's thermography, so it measures temperature and shows inflammation. So where the inflammation is at in your spine. And that we coordinate back to just certain things that are going on with your body. And so those 3 things can tell us what kind of shape are you in? What kind of shape is that nervous system in? And that gives us a window into, hey, maybe some of these things are the reason why we're not able to conceive right now. So let's talk about some environmental lifestyle things for optimal fertility. So environmental stressors can affect overall health and fertility. There are over 1,000 chemicals that could potentially act as endocrine disruptors. So what does that mean? That means that these can actually disrupt our endocrine system and affect our body and act like estrogen. So they can trick our body into thinking we have extra estrogen in our body. So these are things like fragrances, cleaning products, like body products, anything you put on your body, makeup, face wash, lotion, laundry soap, like anything you use on a daily basis that you put on or in your body that has smells and scents, and like you're like, oh my gosh, this is so wonderful, I smell so good, and I have perfume and body lotion and all the Bath and Body Works stuff. I mean, I grew up in the 90s in the Bath and Body Works, like we were lathering smells on smells on smells. That was so toxic for us. I have banned all Bath and Body Works products from my house. We are moving to all natural candles. We have natural body products that we use. There's a local company in town that makes all natural things scented with essential oils. We also have a link in our guide that you will get sent in your email that has some of our favorite products in it that are more clean based, that are healthier for you. Nutrition. So a lot of you women are struggling with PCOS, and a lot of you are thrown this diagnosis. You don't know if you really truly have cysts on your ovaries. Some of you know that you do. Some of you are struggling with your weight because of this PCOS. And so, the biggest thing I can say to you is we have to keep your blood sugar in check. Your weight is going to be an issue. And I know that's hard to hear, but if you are overweight already, you're going to have trouble conceiving. We have to get you at a healthy weight. We have to get your blood sugar in check. protein, protein, protein. Knock it off with the carbs. Get your protein. You need to have about 1 gram of protein for every pound that you weigh. So, to some degree, those of you who are 200 plus pounds, that's a lot of protein. I want you minimum 100 grams of protein a day. If you are active, I want you, 120, 130 grams of protein, 150 grams of protein. We customize that in our office for our women trying to conceive, kind of let them know where I want them to fall. You have to be eating your fruits and veggies. We have some ways we can sneak some of that stuff in some smoothies. I know it's hard to physically eat some of them a day, so we sneak some in fruit with some of our smoothies. Healthy fats, getting some nuts and seeds in, some avocados. You gotta limit the junky stuff. And I know this is hard to hear when they want to throw metformin at you and, give you just, different drugs and tell you you just need some letrozole and we're going to get you ovulating. We are looking at making you healthier. And let me be clear in the fact that you've got to change your lifestyle. And your poor lifestyle has got you where you are now. And if you are trying all the things and you're doing all the things right and you are still struggling, then there's a time and a place to do things correctly. But if you are living in a sedentary lifestyle and you eat like crap and you don't take care of yourself, this is your wake-up call. If you've been trying to conceive and you can't conceive, you've got to do things differently. And so, take a look at your lifestyle and change. The biggest things you can do is get your nutrition in check, get rid of your toxic chemical products, and move your body. If you want, a little bit of a guideline, the Glucose Revolution book is a really good book about blood sugar control, and kind of goes through which foods can affect your blood sugar and, kind of how to incorporate them in your everyday. So I'll get off my soapbox. So some supplementation to support fertility. So I want to be really cautious here because I am a supplement snob. Please do not buy your supplements at Walmart. You have to be careful buying supplements on Amazon. There are some really good brands out there. Throne, Metagenics is one of my favorite designs for health. If you send us an email or DM us, I will send you a link to my full script. A lot of these brands you have to be a provider to have access to them. And so we will give you a link to access any of these products. I know a lot of you guys are using the Ritual brand prenatal. That is not good as a prenatal. That if you want to know more, I will send you information on it, but get rid of your Ritual prenatal. We need a good prenatal supplement, and I will send you different ones. I am a huge fan of greens powder. It is a huge way to get rich antioxidants and additional nutrients in. I throw it in a smoothie. You can grab one off of my full script link. Fish oils are great for fertility and reproductive health in men and women. Both of you should be taking fish oil. Iron, if you need it, depending on your blood work and your menstrual cycle. Royal jelly is an awesome product. It's really cool. It's a superfood. It promotes ovarian follicular growth, and it increases growth hormone. There's a Pure Formula brand. You use it in tea and it's kind of like honey. So it's really cool. So you can look for that Pure Formula brand for Royal jelly. If you struggle with egg quality, CoQ10 is a very good supplement for you to take too. So if nothing else, just get a good quality prenatal supplement and just DM us and I will send you a great one. Metagenics is one of my favorites. It's high quality, third-party tested. It actually has a little packet and it's got your fish oil and pretty much everything you need with it. So we just love to give you information if you need information on good quality prenatal supplementation, because there's a lot of garbage out there, you guys. And make sure when you are taking your vitamins, the biggest thing is your folic acid versus folate. Folic acid is garbage. It is the synthetic form. You want folate. You want a methylated folate also. That is the most important. So we have a hard time detoxing now. If you have the MTHFR gene, you cannot detoxify. You have got to have the methylated form of these B vitamins. So you need a methylated folate. If your prenatal vitamin has folic acid in it, throw it in the garbage and do not take it. If your regular vitamins have folic acid in it, throw it in the garbage and do not take it. We want folate. It is the purest form. It is the quality form. Methylated folate is what we really, really want. So if you have questions, let me know. So I don't know why I need to say this, but I'm going to say it. Smoking and vaping has detrimental effects on fertility. Stop it. It's stupid. Why are you even doing it? You've got to be moving your body. My goodness, move your body, please. Regular physical activity has positive effects on reproductive health. Move your body 30 to 60 minutes a day, 4 to 5 times a week. Get your steps in. Literally, if you just move 10,000 steps a day, 6 to 7 days a week, I would literally be so happy. That is all I need. I don't need you to be doing CrossFit. I don't need you to be doing major weightlifting stuff. Just move your body 30 to 60 minutes a day. It's starting to get really nice out. Get outside and walk. Take 3 10-minute walk breaks. You all can do it. Stop using excuses to not move your body. You have time. Stop scrolling on social. Put this webinar in and go take a walk. You will get your day worth of steps in just going out and listening to this and taking a walk. Move your body. Now we're going to talk about males. This is the biggest thing that I say to all my moms and all my dads. Get your cell phone out of your front pocket. The heat and the electromagnetic radiation will affect sperm quality. Tell all of your teenage sons, get your phones out of your front pocket. You are literally killing your sperm. If they're doing steam rooms or saunas, the elevated body temperature does cause detrimental effects to sperm. So you can put a cold pack on your sperm if they're big in sauna or steam room. Once again, we're talking about healthy BMI in males. If your partner is overweight, they're going to struggle with their sperm count. Some men struggle with low testosterone. So I do suggest that if you're struggling, if you've been, having some issues for 3 months or more, then, you should have your partner's sperm tested. It's super easy. It's a lot easier than all the junk we have to go through as women. Also, cannabis does affect sperm count and quality negatively. So those of you, if your partner is using cannabis, that will affect their sperm count. So while you guys are trying to conceive, I would eliminate that from their plan. So your journey to fertility isn't just a path to parenthood, but a journey of understanding, nurturing, and aligning your body and mind. We want you to be the healthiest person so you can have a healthy, happy pregnancy. We want you to understand the menstrual cycle, the impact of stress, nutrition, and the powerful role of chiropractic to enhance your fertility. This journey is unique to you. Everybody has a different story. Remember, it is a journey. It is not easy sometimes. We work with women for years trying to conceive, and that's okay. It's not a race. It's a marathon sometimes. And that's okay. We get there. Sometimes it's a grind, but we hold your hand along the way, and we just want to support you. So at Align Family Wellness, we are dedicated to supporting you with a comprehensive plan that aligns with your fertility goals. If you're ready for the next step, we've got a special discount that's going to come through on your email. It's an opportunity for you to meet with us, discuss your situation, and see how we can best support you in your journey through your parenthood. If you've got questions, don't hesitate to contact. Our mission is to use this holistic way to help you through your preconception journey. There's our email if you want any of the resources that I mentioned, our phone number. Follow us on Instagram at Align Family Wellness Chiro, Align Family Wellness Chiropractic and Acupuncture on Facebook. There are multiple ways to get a hold of us. If you need us, we are here for you. We are so glad that you joined our webinar today. Thank you so much for attending. We know your time is precious, and we know that you could have been doing a million other things with your time. And so we just appreciate you taking your time to be here with us today. And if we can do anything for you, just let us know. We appreciate you.